The Being from 1983 is true to its name. It features a being, which by definition is an existence. Now, I don't know what this thing is, but it surely does exist, at least in this movie. This is Jackie Kong's first movie she directed, and I think it shows. They had the money, but it still feels low budget. Yet somehow they got Martin Landau to star in it. So let's watch The Being and see what it's all about. It opens up in the small town of Pottsville, Idaho, where strange things are happening. People are going missing without a trace, including a small child, never to be seen again. Then some teenager runs into a junkyard, steals a car, which I'd say he's pretty lucky it even runs at all, but his luck runs out when the being rips his head off. The police show up, and we meet Detective Mortimer Lutz, played by Bill Osko, who, before this, was a producer for a lot of porno. He doesn't really do much detective work, he just looks at the car, then heads back to the station to watch TV. Dr. Jones, played by Landau, is on a local news program, explaining how the town's nuclear dump site is perfectly safe. Even though it's dumping into their water supply, he's still comfortable drinking the water. Next, we go to the drive-ins. All these B movies have to have a drive-in scene, and honestly, I kinda miss it nowadays. This green goo starts leaking into the car from every crevice, and we learn of one of the being's powers. It can turn into this amorphous blob and squeeze into virtually anywhere to attack and kill its prey. A few people are murdered, this couple making out, and this stoner guy's friend, but they don't take him too seriously. That's not until Mort goes home to find more green slime, then he gets attacked. He gets away and runs right in front of a train to escape. But I seriously doubt that train conductor knew what was going on. He probably still to this day wonders why a guy just ran out in front of him. Anyway, the next morning is Easter Sunday, and all the kids show up for church for an Easter egg hunt. We see a little baby who is Osko's real-life daughter, and it looks like she's gonna get eaten up by something in the ground. But then it turns out that she found this rare big Easter egg.
Look, everybody! Susie found the prize-winning egg!
Oh, who cares? This is just a way to build suspense, but we all knew they weren't gonna kill this cute baby. We do meet Virginia Lane, the mayor's wife, and the annoying lady you just want to see killed the most. She's heading up a campaign to sweep the smut out of Pottsville. You see, there's a new business coming into town. It's not an R-rated theater or even a sex shop. It's a massage parlor. I mean, sure, sometimes things are insinuated when getting a massage, but I don't think that's as common as it's made out to be. I don't know, maybe it is. Virginia sure thinks so, and she has half the town on her side. So anyway, there are more attacks. They find out that the slime is highly radioactive. Mort has a fever dream that Dr. Jones is attacked and pulled out of an airplane. And we learn that the mayor is covering all this monster stuff up because it would affect his potato business. All pretty standard 80s horror movie tropes. We meet Mortimer's girlfriend, Lori, and some crazy lady, Marge, who wanders around all hours of the night looking for her lost son, Michael. The town is starting to get suspicious, so Dr. Jones says he's going to camp out at the dump site to run some tests and prove that nothing is wrong. But there is something wrong. There's a radioactive slime monster on the loose. They figure out that light breaks it down, so it sleeps in this shack during the day, then has tunnels to get all over town at night. Luckily, one of these tunnels heads right to the mayor's house, and Virginia is finally killed off. Later that night, when the being comes home, Dr. Jones and Mort are waiting for it. They chase it, or more like it chases them, to the local airport. And you think that maybe Mort's dream is going to come true, but it doesn't. They just head inside and fight it off. You would think that they would turn on the lights because, that hurts it, but they decide to give it a fair fight, I guess. The monster pulls Dr. Jones and kills him. Then he moves on to Mortimer, who knows the only exit is on the roof. He grabs onto some chains and they lift him up, which is great, until it stops and he can't hold himself up anymore. So he falls down, and here is where you realize that there's very little music going on. This is supposed to be the climax of the film, and all I can hear are crickets. Anyway, Mort falls down and starts filling the room with gas, then throws some acid on the monster. He starts beating it up, and it explodes for good measure. Then, he's able to easily climb up the chains, which he just struggled to do seconds ago, and escape to the roof, where he throws his hat up in the air like he just graduated. It ends with a new being coming up from the ground. Because, it's a horror movie, and it has to end with a cliffhanger. During the end credits, it says what everyone is up to now, and I have to admit, I like it when movies do this. It says that the mayor went on to be the world's first potato farmer in the White House, and Lori, Mort's girlfriend, is waitressing in Akron, Ohio. I've been to Akron. I think I would take my chances on a radioactive monster in Pottsville. And that was The Being. They don't really come out and say it, but I'm assuming that the creature in this movie is Michael, Marge's lost son that got mutated by the nuclear waste, and then he goes on a killing spree. Why he was one-eyed and had a giant forehead, I don't know. They should have shown Michael with an eye patch in the beginning or something, but then they should have done a lot of things different. I mean, the budget was $4.5 million. I think they could have done better. Lighting was an issue, especially at the end. Everything was hard to see, and you don't really know what's going on. And as I mentioned, there's very little music. It should come as no surprise that The Being was a failure at the box office, and then it fell into obscurity. Some might say it's a cult classic, but I think that's giving it too much. Even so, it delivers on the title, and if you're in the mood for a B movie, this will satisfy. I give The Being 1.5 Idaho potatoes out of 4.
Oh, God. Cat.